Hi guys, I want to quickly talk to you about my soup detox. I just now had time to do this video right before I'm about to go to bed, so hopefully I can talk really fast. Basically, I got back from vacation from New Orleans late last Wednesday, and so I knew that when I woke up on Thursday, I immediately wanted to start my detox. So, this is a tip for all of you when you're going on vacation. Make sure that you have the things that you're going to want to eat the next day. Make sure that you already have them ready for you in the refrigerator or freezer. And so I had already purchased some high quality organic soup that I had in the refrigerator waiting for when we came back. And I had already purchased the fruit and kale mix that I was going to use to make my smoothies. And those were in the freezer. And hopefully, there will be pictures of these items as I'm talking. I will try to insert pictures so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, for 2 days after I came back from New Orleans, I had a fruit and kale smoothie every morning. I had 2 servings of that. So the bag had 2 servings. Each serving, I think, was maybe 70 calories and 16 carbs. Um, and so I just had 2 of those servings every morning. And then for lunch and for dinner, I just had soup. And so my calories for those first 2 days were around 700 calories and probably around 60 grams of protein, I think. I can't really remember. And so in just those first 2 days, I when I woke up on the third day, I had already lost the 6 pounds that I had gained while I was on vacation in New Orleans. So my detox worked. The problem is that I had actually gained weight before I went on vacation. So I lost the weight that I had gained on vacation, but now I needed to lose the weight that I gained before I went on vacation. So I continued my soup detox, but I kind of changed it up a little bit. So, starting on Saturday, I went back to my normal breakfasts, which mostly consist of a protein shake and cold brew coffee for one meal, and then the other meal, either a protein bar or fruit and protein. But then for lunch, I would have soup and protein. So I made a butternut squash soup with red bell peppers. And so I had a side of shrimp with that just so I could have enough protein. And then for dinner, I had my chicken detox soup. And I'm attaching this to a video of me making the chicken detox soup. That will be after this. Um, And so basically that's what I've kind of gotten hooked on eating these soups. When I got tired of the butternut squash soup, then I made a shiitake mushrooms with leek soup. And then with that soup, I just had some fish with the soup because the soup doesn't really have very much protein in it. So in the link in the box below, you'll see the um, internet link for the 3 soups that I made, and then also the nutritional information for the 3 soups that I made. And that is based on my calculations. Um, for the mushroom soup, if you look at the recipe, it didn't include leeks, and I added leeks to it, and so that's why my nutritional information might be different than yours, or if you just follow the recipe as it's exactly written. And for the chicken detox soup, I used a little less chicken than the recipe called for, and so my soup has a little less protein in it than the recipe. And I think that's really all I need to say. A lot of people do, a liquid diet for their, do liquid diets when they need to lose weight really fast, and they're basically just drinking a bunch of protein shakes. And I thought that it would be a little bit healthier to do a liquid diet a different way with nice healthy soups that I have made. And I've lost my train of thought. So while I was making the soups, I also decided that I was going to just go ahead and show you what was in my refrigerator and my freezer. So because I didn't want this video to be very long, that is a second video that I will be posting right after I post this video. So if you have any questions about my detox or anything like that, go ahead and put the questions down below. And I will come back to you guys next week. I have my final weigh-in on November 22nd. And at that time, you will see how much weight I lost, and then I will admit to you how much weight I had actually gained before I went on vacation. So have a good evening. Bye. Okay, so this is the recipe for my chicken detox soup. And I'm just going to do this in phases and then edit this all together. So you can see here I have chopped up celery, a whole large onion, and then there is some 4 cloves of garlic there that I've chopped, and then also some ginger that I've shredded. Okay, and so I put some olive oil. Oh, it's not going to show up very well. So I put some olive oil in this pot on my stove. And so the first part of the recipe is to just toss all of this into the pot. Okay, so for the next step in this detox chicken soup, you're going to add the chopped carrots. And here I used what I had, which these are baby carrots that I chopped up, which are, I think it's more annoying to chop up baby carrots than regular carrots, but this is what I had in my refrigerator. And then you're going to add the apple cider vinegar, the turmeric, the pink salt, and I have cayenne pepper they said to use. I think it was red pepper flakes or something like that, which I don't have any, so I'm just going to substitute this cayenne pepper. And then here is the organic chicken that I'm going to use. And then this is one of my jars of homemade bone broth or chicken stock, but it really is bone broth because I cooked it for 24 hours. And I just wanted to show you, I buy these cute little jars. You can find them at Target or Walmart, or you can also order them on Amazon. And you want to make sure that you're getting the ones that are freezer safe, because they sell a whole bunch of them that are just the regular, what are these, mason jars. But then they also sell the ones that are freezer safe. So make sure you get the ones that are freezer safe, and then you can, buy things and then you can make things and you can put them in the freezer. So this jar of bone stock is still frozen because I'm not using that today. I've already, if you look into my pot here, I've already put in my bone stock, 8 cups, and things were starting to stick a little bit, so I went ahead and poured it in there. But for the next step of the recipe, you're going to add the raw chicken and all of these ingredients. Okay, so I will come back to you with the next step. Okay, so for the last part of the recipe, I pulled the chicken breasts out of the soup pot and I chopped them up. Now the recipe calls for you to shred the chicken breasts, but I don't really like to have shredded chicken in my soup unless it's like chicken tortilla soup or something, and so I chopped my chicken breasts. Then you're going to add frozen broccoli, or I guess you can add fresh broccoli, but this is what I already had in my freezer. And parsley flakes. You're supposed to use fresh parsley, but I completely forgot to buy fresh parsley, so I'm just going to use these flakes. And then I wanted to give you a tip. So here you can see this is a bag of my leftover carrots and celery that I had. Now in the past, I used to just throw those away. And now what I do is I either chop them up into very small pieces and put them in the freezer in order to use for future soup recipes, or I chop them up into chunks like I have in this bag now, and I use it when I make my chicken stock or my bone broth. And I will be making some bone broth before my surgery, so I will be doing a video on that later. Okay, so I am going to add all of this to my soup pot. Now the soup is done. It's hard to get a good picture of this, but you can see all the yummy vegetables and things. And I'm going to scoop some in this glass bowl. If I can do that without making a mess here. Just so I can get some broth in there. But see, now you can see my chicken detox soup. Yummy. I just wanted to come back and quickly show you how I divide up my soups. So when I do my meal prep every week, every time I cook, I immediately divide it up into the servings that I want it to be. For this soup, I went ahead and I used this 1 cup measuring cup in order to kind of equally divide this soup since it has my protein in it. At first I just measured all the solid ingredients and tried to put about the same amount of solid ingredients in there. And then once all the solid ingredients were out of the soup, then I measured out the liquid and poured that in there. So the 2 tall mason jars back there have 2 servings of soup in them. And then I have a smaller mason jar there that just has 1 serving of soup. And then these 2 bowls here I'm going to be putting in the refrigerator. Those are going to be my lunch for Thursday and Friday. And the ones in the 3 in the back are going to go directly into the freezer. And so I'm going to put this in my FitnessPal. I divided it up into 7 servings. I wanted to do 8 servings, but it was too hard for me to try to divide it up into 8. This came out easier with my little measuring cup. So I'm going to put it in my FitnessPal, and when I put this all together, I will tell you the amount of calories and everything per serving. Okay, bye.